Welcome to episode 9 of the ISO podcast with me, your host Chuck Duru, and on today's episode we had rising star and top European prospect Jeremy Sochan. Jeremy just finished his junior year at nationally ranked high school Lumiere, where he has created a buzz being ranked as one of the top players in the US and being recruited by some really big schools such as Baylor, Michigan State to name. On this episode we discussed his early playing days growing up in Milton Keynes and moving to Southampton later in life, how playing for Solent Kestrels in NBL Division One helped him prepare for the States, playing in the EABL a year young with Itchen College, making a move to Lumiere in the States and his experiences living out in the US, why he opted to play for Poland international despite representing England at under 15s, and much more. Yeah, it was really great to get Jeremy on. I was keen to get him on, just being one of the best young prospects we've had coming out of England in recent years, so it was good to get his take on things, and we had a really good conversation. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, hope you enjoy it. Jeremy, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How's the lockdown treating you?
It's treating me not bad. It ruined a few plans, but I'm trying to make the best out of it. Trying to keep positive and work on my game and on my mind. So yeah.
Yeah, you been doing any of these online workouts?
A little bit, but I just finished school. My high school. We just finished school, and I've had quite a lot of Zoom calls with college coaches. So yeah, I'm just trying to do my own workouts and stuff. But yeah, I've got some tips from coaches and online stuff. So yeah.
No, that's good, man. That's good. I miss being your age, man. I remember when I was well, you 16 now, innit?
I just turned 17 last Wednesday.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, happy belated, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, even when I was 17, man, I miss being your age and just being able to play basketball as much as you're probably doing now. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so yeah, man. Make sure you treasure this time, man.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
sure.
Man. No doubt, man. No doubt. Obviously, for people who don't know you, very highly, rated prospect coming out of you're born in America, moved to England.
Yep.
Mum's Polish, dad's American.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah, I've been in England since I was 3, and then I moved last August to America. So I call myself English.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you obviously you spent the last season at Lumiere, is that you say it?
Yeah, Lumiere, yeah.
Lumiere High School, highly ranked high school, produced quite a few, Division One college players, a few NBA players.
Yes,
so yeah, let's talk about your season just gone. So how do you feel your season went? Your first season in America.
Right. I think it went really well. There was of course ups and downs during the with my teammates and just games and stuff, but in general it went really well. I think it was my first year, so I had to adjust. But I think that adjustment was really good, and you're not just gonna adjust straight away. It's a gradual process. Do you know what I mean? So even at the end of the season, I was adjusting, but I think I was doing really well. And before this this whole Corona situation happened, I think I was at my top level and was getting ready for our final tournament. And I was really excited. I thought I was going to prove a lot, but all this happened. So yeah, I couldn't. But I think I did really well.
And your schools was ranked, I think, as high as 7th in the country. Is that right?
5th.
We
were ranked 5th.
Oh,
yeah.
Better, man. What was your final record then at the end of the season?
I think we were 25-4.
Okay.
I think that's it. So around something like that. We lost 4 games, but it was around 25 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's obviously a nationally ranked high school. You would have had a national schedule. How did you adjust? Traveling around America and stuff like that.
It was different. Playing in England, the longest distance you're gonna drive is 5 hours.
Yeah.
But over in America, I was driving 10 hours. We had to hop on some planes.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit different, and games would be like different days. Like it would be a Friday or a Monday. Like there isn't just like one set day where you're gonna play like in England. Like it was normally like a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to get used to that. But it was really good. Like it's a new experience. Like seeing all these states, cities. Like it's so much different than like England and Europe. So like it was just a learning experience again. Like besides like basketball. So it was all good. It was all good.
Yeah, no, that's sick, man. Yeah, I remember when I was 18, I did a year in prep school, and I remember that was a part of it I hated the traveling. You know, we used to have like 12 guys in a 10-seater minibus going from, you know, North Carolina to like Virginia. You know,
we had big buses like coaches, so we was all blessed.
You lot was nice.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, no, but the tournaments, like, I guess you'd have played in a lot of like weekend tournaments, you know, where you know, college coaches come down to watch, and you know, you'll get like Hoop Mixtape and all these guys there like recording and stuff.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's like the sick part.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's good, man.
So,
it's good. Away from the court, how have you adjusted to, you know, living away from home and away from your family in the US?
Yeah, so it was a little bit easier to adjust because, you know, I'm from Milton Keynes, but before last season I was at Solent, so like I was already away from home, I was away from parents. Even though it's like only 2 hours, I still like I learned how to be away from home, and like it matured me.
Yeah.
So like coming to America, I already knew how to like cope with it, so it was pretty easy, and like the community at Lumiere was really nice, and like they were welcoming, so I was around good people, so it was a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, and then do you find like, you know, balancing I guess the academic side and the basketball side, how have you found that?
Yeah, it was a little bit challenging at the start. Lumiere is like really strict on like schooling and stuff, so you know, I had to get my work done all the time. Like even like on the roads, we would have to do our homework. Like we'd have study halls. So it was pretty hard, but I adjusted well, and I finished the school year pretty well. So yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. Do you find the British educational system or the American educational system, which one do you find harder?
It's different. So I feel like English might be a little bit harder because like if you know, in the English system you only have one test, and if you fail on that test, that's your grade. But like in America, like you have tests, quizzes, homeworks are graded, so like that all accumulates to your grade, so it's a lot easier. Like let's say you failed one test and then passed the next one, like it's easier to get your grade back up. And it's a lot harder to do that in English system. So I feel like the American system's like it helps you a little bit more, and it's a little bit easier.
Right.
So yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, let's go to the beginning. Obviously, as you mentioned, you know, you're born in America. Your mum's Polish, your dad's American.
Yep.
You know, you moved to Southampton when you were young. Is that right?
Yeah, I moved to Southampton when I was like 3, but then I left. I think it was like year 2 or year 3 to Milton Keynes, and then like Milton Keynes, that's where I like started actually playing basketball. Like I was like getting into it, but like my mum and dad played basketball, so like it was always in my blood. So but like I actually started playing like basketball in Milton Keynes, and that was just like regular National League. Like I didn't even know what Premier was until I actually moved to like Solent in year 11.
Right.
So yeah, like I actually like only started playing like proper basketball like at like a higher level when I was in year 11, which was like 2 years ago. So,
and you were at Itchen. You moved to Itchen College, is that right?
Yeah. I was a year young, so I was actually in year 11 when I moved to Itchen, but because of like some education like things in America, and like there was a little complications, so I had to move to Itchen.
Right.
But, yeah.
Right. So what was it like then? You know, you said you were a year young. What was it like, you know, going to Itchen for a year and I guess playing in the EABL?
EABL, yeah. It was a blessing. Like before moving there, like I didn't know a lot about basketball. Like of course I knew a lot about basketball, but I was playing National League, like under 16s. Like we were beating every team by like 40. It was like easy until we went into place where we get smacked. But yeah, it was a little bit different playing with like bigger guys, more developed guys. It helped me a lot, and like if I didn't go there, getting coached by Coach Matt and Coach Jack, I definitely wouldn't be like where I am right now, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I heard, I'm not sure if this is true, but obviously you probably would have heard about it. But I heard there was some complaints that, you know, you shouldn't have been allowed to play EABL because you were too young. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, it is true. It's true. The first game was playing Reading.
Yeah.
And I was actually getting recruited by Reading. I was meant to go there. That was like my final two or something like that. And I remember we actually lost that game, but I think I had like 25 and we should have won. But I remember there, I think like whether it's like their GM or whatever, like their guy who like runs it all, I think he complained that I wasn't meant to be playing.
Yeah.
So I had to do a course in Itchen after that, and I was allowed to play, luckily.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was a little bit like why do you need to, like, it's not like I was too old to play.
Yeah.
Like I was young. Like it made no sense.
Yeah, like you usually get that, you know, in like when I was younger there was always guys who were like, you know, 19, 20 trying to play under 18s and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that side
exactly.
I can see the issue, but a guy who's too young, like come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because I thought that was quite funny that, you know, people were complaining that you were ineligible because you were your age, for being too young rather than being too old. Did that sort of fuel you then, you know, for the rest of your season after, you know,
a little bit, yeah. Like after that game, like the whole team, like we were nice, like we were playing together and like we started winning a lot, and yeah, I think it fueled me a little bit, but I think like that part like just showed me like I could play with these guys even though I was too young.
Yeah.
So like too young, but yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. No, that's funny, man. That's funny. So yeah, I think I remember the first time, you know, I sort of heard about you was you know, Sam at Hoopsfix did a highlight of you against Barking. Where, you know, you had 31 and 15 on the road and won the game. And I remember seeing you at the end of the highlight, you were like, "Let's play." Or you said something.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that game. That was like the game, like, I think Barking were undefeated at that time.
Yeah.
I think, we were the only team to beat them. But I remember the first game we played against them, we lost by like 3 or something like that at home. And I was just fueled up for that game. And we played pretty well. And we was actually losing by like 10 at like the end of the third or something. And we came back and won that game. So that was like probably one of my better games in the ABL for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had that game, that dunk. And then after that, I said, "Let's play."
Is that the kind of guy you are then? Are you quite animated, you know, when you play, like?
Yeah, for sure. I like to like talk a little bit of trash, and it just fuels me, like being able to like just talk a little bit of trash.
Yeah.
Get under their skin. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And it fuels me for sure.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. You know, you get the thing I hate about England, and I always say this. You'll probably see it the older you get. You know, it's like our basketball here is so like bland, like. Whereas, you know, like in America, there's more like personality. You're allowed, you know, you're allowed to be a bit more boisterous, and it kind of makes the game more exciting. Whereas here, it's like, you know, if you can't talk too much trash, otherwise you'll get, you know, people will say, you know, hey, you know, you're cocky or you're this or you're that. That. Whereas sometimes you're just having a bit of fun. Like it's nothing personal. It's like at the end of the game, you shake everyone's hand. You know.
Exactly. It's a game. Like during the game, you're allowed to do that. I totally agree. And like that's the difference. Like one of the main difference about basketball in America and basketball here. And like another thing is like American players are a lot more confident. Yeah. Like let's say you miss a shot in America, like it's a bad shot and you like airball it or something. They don't care about that. Like they'll go back to defense, defend, and take that shot again after. Yeah. I feel like in England, like people think too much,
Mm.
and like they're a little bit too soft at times.
Yeah,
So,
and I think also, from like again, like playing in America, I feel like referees play a big part in that here. I think
for sure.
I think referees actually hinder the game a lot in especially for young players. I think it's too soft. Do you know what I mean? And referees sort of encourage that sort
I
of
get
soft
you.
culture. Whereas in America, I mean, it ain't. I'm not saying it's like '90s basketball where everyone's like getting clotheslined and that, but
Yeah,
you're allowed. You're allowed to be a bit more. Well, you have to be a bit more. Tough. And
exactly.
when you're out
Yeah,
there, and I think that's
and
why a lot of
like referees that, yeah,
yeah, and like I feel like that's why a
I
lot of
don't,
players when they go over there they struggle with the physicality of America because they're
right,
used to referees blowing the whistle before you've even fouled, before you've even been fouled. Here,
right, exactly.
um,
Or even like coaches,
mm,
your coach will like shout at you, like he'll get in your face and scream at you. I
yeah,
don't think English coaches do that, and like I feel like when English players go to America, like they're surprised by that, or
yeah,
like the hard practices of running and running and running.
yeah,
So I think like they're not just like I feel like a lot of like English players like feel like America's like flipping California, like everywhere in America is like California, Hollywood.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
literally, America isn't that. Like
No,
there's only few places in America will look like that and like are like that. And, like a lot of America is just rural, nothing there.
yeah,
So yeah, I feel like when you go to America, you get a little bit tougher for sure.
yeah. It's not as glamorous as Ball is Life make it
Exactly.
look.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, no, that's so true, man. That's so true. But I definitely think I keep saying this like there needs to be like a culture change around junior
Mm,
basketball. I think in England in terms of preparing guys, not just for America, but to play in the BBL maybe as a 18-year-old, or
right.
overseas as a young player. You have to mentally and physically. We have to do a better job mentally and physically preparing kids to make the jump, and so that when they do go to places where coaches are in your face or foulings, and what I mean, fouls here aren't
Right.
fouls somewhere else. You're more ready for it. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
So yeah. So you ended up, during your time at Itchen, playing at Solent in Division One.
Yeah.
From as you said, for Matt Guyman, playing with some really good players. My boy Teo. Shout out to Teo.
Yes, sir. Shout out.
How do you feel like playing in Division One prepared you, for the US?
Yeah, it prepared me a lot. Definitely, like being able to play with like Travis, Nick, Teo, like they're all experienced players who've already done this. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they've been to America, they've been in the pros. Like it just helped me. Like it let me learn from them and like learn little stuff from their game and like just like their like characters, and it helped me a lot and to like get ready for America and just like be there and like play for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it helped me a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Do you feel in terms of like practices with Solent and practices in America, do you feel like there was any sort of similarities, any differences in the way Matt coached and the way your coach at high school coaches?
I feel like like my coach in America, we do quite a lot of like running, and because we didn't have too many players, like we had a few injuries, we didn't really play a lot. But like in D1 practices and back in England, we would be playing all the time, literally. Unless it was like just a shooting practice or like a shoot around, we would be playing, we would be going up and down, which is really good for me, like being able to play with them older men, and it helped me a lot for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a little difference.
Touching on, I came across your Twitter while I was, doing my research and whatnot, and I saw in I think it was your pinned tweet, it said, "Yes, I know rankings don't matter and they don't affect me. However, I know I'm one of the top players. Mark my words. #I'm hungry."
Right.
Do you feel? Also, I found that quite interesting that you tweet that as a pinned tweet. Do you feel like you're being a European playing over there? Do you feel a sense of being underrated?
I think so. I am ranked, and I'm happy about that. But I think like you said, being like from Europe and like they still don't know me a lot, and like this year it's gonna look the past season is gonna look it's different than what next year is gonna look like.
Yeah.
Like so I think like I've got something to show a little bit, and I can't wait to like show. And I'm like I said, I'm hungry because I feel like I'm one of the top players, and I think I'll be able to show that next year.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good. I'll never, I'm someone who I like people who, speak things into existence. If that's how you feel about something, that's how you feel, and you know what I mean. It's now on you to sort of prove.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, show and prove. With your next year. Obviously you had a great season this year, but as a basketball player, you always feel like you could always have done better. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes you do feel underrated. You don't feel like you're getting your props, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
You just got to go out there and show it, and whatnot.
Exactly. Even like Lumiere, like the school, we're normally underrated and like under the radar. People a little bit hate on us as well. So like just Lumiere, like we need to show something as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So in terms of the your college recruitment process, I know you mentioned that you've been on Zoom calls with college coaches and stuff. How's that going at the minute? And have you got your eye on any particular school or schools?
Yeah. So like right now, like I don't really have like my eye on one particular school, but yeah, I've been on quite a few Zoom calls, and they're all good. Like it's a new experience. Like in August, like July, like last July, like I didn't know anything about college.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing. But like ever since I came to Lumiere, like that all just like it came out of nowhere. Like quite a few. I've been blessed with like quite a few colleges like being able to talk to me and offering me. So yeah, it's been a blessing for sure.
Which schools have you had offers by so far?
Offers? I've had offers from Baylor, Vanderbilt, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Florida State, Creighton, Georgetown, DePaul, Xavier, Utah, Santa Clara, Washington State, and Montana State, I think.
So that's a nice group there, man. That's a lot of big schools there. Do you feel a sense of pressure being from the UK and being at such a big school and on such a big stage? Do you feel any pressure to I guess
Yeah, I don't think I feel any pressure, and like even if I do feel a little bit of pressure, I don't think it's like negative. Like I feel like that pressure fuels me to do even better and push me even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't feel like I'm pressured to do anything. Like it's all on me.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really mature way to look at it. I think it's just because a lot of kids from England, over the years, they go over to America, and then some of them it works out. Some of them have really good college careers, go on to have really good pro careers.
Right.
Some of them it doesn't. And I'm always sort of intrigued by sort of the mental aspect of being someone who's highly touted and highly recruited, and like the pressure that's faced from being a European kid or a kid almost representing the UK out there,
right,
and what comes of it. But I think that's a good response. It's a good way to look at it.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, let's just touch on your international career. So you've played for England, is that right? For under 15s, but you represented.
I played a few tournaments with England.
And then you represented Poland in the European Championships. What made you make the decision to choose Poland?
It was so I feel like Poland has a better organization than GB. I think there's not a lot. They GB doesn't plan a lot. They don't plan like camps. Like I think it's crazy to think like GB get ready a month before the European Championships. I just don't feel like you can create a team to have be able to contend and actually win a championship in just 1 month of practice.
Yeah.
And Poland, we would have camps during the year, and then 2 months before the actual championships would get ready. We would all be together, and I feel like the environment was just a lot better in Poland.
Yeah.
For sure, and there's more money involved, so I think it's a lot easier to access gyms and different tournaments in different countries. So
Right.
I think just like in general, it just made me a lot more ready for the European Championships.
Right, because you actually ended up, you end up winning the Division B championship.
Yeah, right.
Is that right? Yep.
Yeah, we won that last August.
Yeah, talk to me about that. What was the experience like? Playing for Poland and winning the European Championships and getting promotion, I guess, to Division A.
Yeah, it felt great. Like it was probably one of my happiest moments in my life. Like literally, like it's always an honor to like just wear your jersey, like the country you're representing. And,
yeah.
Like, being able to fight for a championship and getting that promotion was a crazy feeling. And like that team we had, we all bonded. Even the coaches, like we were all like just like together, and it was just a really nice feeling. And then I also got the MVP, which was really nice. So
yeah,
it was great. It was great.
No, that's sick, man. Did you play GB in the tournament, or were they not in your bracket?
Yeah, they weren't in our bracket, and I think we could have played them in one of the I think it was quarterfinals or semis, but they didn't get that far, so it was a shame. I wish we did though. I wish we did.
Yeah, it would have been nice to give them buckets, huh?
Yeah. so actually, 2018 we played them. I think it was we lost in the quarters, and then we played them for like 5th or 8th seed or something like that.
Yeah.
And I actually had a really good game then against GB. So
yeah,
that was a fun game. I wish I could do it again last year, but yeah. I couldn't.
so you'll be in the running, and I guess what you would have been in the running for the 18 team this year. Is that right for Poland?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, given the corona.
Yeah, it's so annoying with all this coronavirus and stuff. So
yeah,
it was a shame. I had we all had pretty big plans. So
yeah,
it was a shame.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be around next year, hopefully, to play for Poland. I guess are they under 18s? Are they Division B then, or are they already Division A?
They're Division A.
Oh, okay.
They're already Division A. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll make that team and then play in Division A. And like Division A, like that's like the craziest tournament. Like it's heavily scouted, the best players. So it's always a good thing to be there and play. So hopefully, I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. How would you, how would you describe, I guess, the playing styles, the difference in playing styles, playing under like a Polish coach or Polish system and an English coach, an English system?
Yeah. Our Polish system, like, we had quite a lot of freedom. He gave us quite a lot of freedom. I think he trusted us quite a lot. So we'll be playing pretty fast, like motion, like 5 out, 4 out, 1 in, and just play, like be natural with it. And I think like Itchen and like D1 men's, like Solent, I think it was like really similar. Like Matt and Jack, they let us be like they gave us freedom as well, which was pretty nice, and I think that was a good thing. But I don't know like if I can say like other stuff about other coaches, but I think maybe sometimes I feel like some coaches need to give players more freedom to like decision make and stuff like that. But
I find that when I watch, because I've watched a fair bit of junior European basketball, and it seems that it's more they teach like read and react at quite a younger age. So they tend to make the systems that they run tend to be a bit more free flowing, like you said, similar to how Solent play in Division One. To be fair, like it's a lot of and like the men's game, it's more based on decision making of players as opposed to having set plays where you go here, you go here. So
exactly.
that's quite interesting. About what you said about how GB should sort of move towards that sort of read and react a bit more.
For sure.
What advice would you give to players who are aspire to make the move to the US and like to go to high school?
Like firstly, like follow your heart, like follow what your heart's saying, but like you also have to be realistic with your dreams and stuff. Like I think like you can't just go from like just playing national, not even like Premier League, and then like go to America, like try and hope to be like a D1 player or something. Like it's really hard to do that. Like you have to be realistic with your dreams, but like always, like you have to work hard, be determined, but also like surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
And like always surround yourself with good people and like just be positive and not negative. So that's what I'd give. The advice I'd give like young players who are trying to do the same thing. So
yeah, I 100% agree with that. Surrounding yourself with good players. We spoke about. I had one of my other guests. We spoke about getting that experience. The balance, between playing in a team where you're, I guess, a big fish in a small pond and being a small fish in a big pond, and how on one hand, when you're the star of a team that maybe doesn't have a load of talent, you get that sort of responsibility of being the go-to guy and playing a lot of minutes, and then sometimes when you're maybe not the best player in your team, but you're around really good players, that can elevate your game, or that can sort of
100%
push you to the side, in favor of players who are better. So it's interesting that you say that, because obviously you've been the star of pretty much every team you've played on, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe not the star in America in your team, but a key, very, very big part of your team. You start, right?
Yeah. I started all games.
Yeah. So
except for like one or something, but
yeah.
But
again, you've had that. You've had that experience of being the guy at Itchen, and then you've also been on the bench at Solent, learning, albeit from the senior guys on your team. Do you know what I mean?
Like you said, 100% agree with that. Like just learning, like being able to watch these players, like just from the bench, like learning like what they're saying and how they're playing, like how they're reacting from the other team's defense or offense.
Yeah,
like, you just have to like bring that all in and make it evolve you. Like, even if you're not playing.
But yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. I'll put your social medias and whatnot in the description, so people can follow your journey. I'll definitely be following your journey. I think you've got a bright future ahead of you, man, and I'm kind of excited for you. I want to see you go far and really maximize your potential and do big things, man. So yeah, stay with it, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you. That's great.
All right, all the best, man.
All right. Yes, sir. You too. Take care.